so? What's been going on? You look kind of happy, but I can tell there's something behind your eyes, though.
Yeah. You caught me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be happy. I'm trying to be positive about this, but I just don't think I can. Um, at my church, I'm on the leadership team, um, and there's this lady who's been with us since we started our church about 4 years ago, who's always wanted to be a leader. She's extremely immature. She's probably 29, but she acts like a 16-year-old. And she has a servant's heart. She's always so sweet about stepping up and doing everything she can to help, but she's just not good with people. So, for example, I walked in a small group one night, and she looked at me and went, "You're really gonna wear those shoes?" Like,
Oh.
like with the disgusted face. I'm like, in front of everybody. Like, I don't really care, but like, really, that's just the type of stuff she says all the time to people. She always gives people looks like, really.
So it sounds like you're a little bit offended by this individual.
I am, but I think, not just because she's her, because in a person, it's her. If she was just a person, coming to church, like, being there, that's fine, I get it. But she wants to be on the leadership team and working with people, and with the kids, actually. You know what? Actually, this is where it gets crazy, because she actually works in the kids department. We've had families leave because of her.
Oh, wow. So let me get this straight. So, well, as you see it, she's not qualified
Absolutely
to work
not.
with. Okay, okay.
But nobody else recognizes that. It's the craziest thing. Even though all of this stuff is happening and she's so blatantly rude to everybody and does the eye rolls and everything, and is just so immature, no people keep raising her up in leadership. And I'm just like waiting to watch this whole thing like crash and burn. And I'm sitting here struggling because I keep telling our senior pastor everything I see, and he listens to me, he really does, but yet somehow I think because we don't have enough volunteers, he just continues to give her more responsibility. But I'm watching this, like, please listen to me. You can't do this.
So you almost kind of feel helpless. Like, I want to fix it, but I'm helpless. So, and let's kind of go back because I want to make sure that I'm understanding everything that you're feeling, but I also want to kind of get a little bit of clarification.
Okay.
So, this young lady, she's a young lady who seems to be very immature.
Oh, yes.
And you definitely think that you feel that she has a servant's heart.
Yeah.
You feel she has a servant's heart, but you want to kind of mold her, so to
That would be
speak,
great.
to be a more qualified candidate to work with the individuals in the church. Okay, so it sounds like you definitely have some leadership qualities.
Yeah, I would say so.
and it appears that you're a little bit bothered. Tell me a little bit about how you're communicating your feelings.
Oh, that's a funny story. So I'm on staff at the church, and she's not paid, but she volunteers a lot.
But you are paid.
Yes, I'm paid. So technically, I'm above her. Not that we work in different parts of the church, but it will play into this. So I was scheduled to work the nursery one day for the first service, and she's not in charge of the kids ministry. She's just a volunteer. And she walked up to me 5 minutes before first service started and said, "No, we got to switch. You have to do the next service. I'm doing this one." And I decided to just face her full front because I hadn't planned for that service. I wasn't going to rush in there and do a bad job 3 minutes before it started. So I looked her in the face and I said, "Hey, I'm actually not going to do that. Adam, our pastor, gave me this responsibility and I have to do it this service. I don't really have a choice." And she pretended like it was all okay, but turned around and went and told somebody that I was yelling at her. The pastor's wife, or pastor's mom, actually. Then it's spreading all over that I'm this horrible person who just yelled at her. When all I said was, "No, I can't do that."
So it seems like we have a couple of things here. So it seems like, first of all, you stood your ground.
I did. That was the first time.
And it seems like that made you feel great. It made you feel empowered.
It did, yeah. At first.
Alrighty. Okay. And you also kind of gave her some of her.
That's true.
Is that okay?
I tried to do it nicely, but yeah.
Now, with the individuals who she told that you were fussing at her, how did you communicate to them what happened?
No, I didn't. I didn't want to go up to them and make it seem like it was a big deal and like I was offended, or I felt like if I had gone up to them and said something to them, it would have communicated to them that I was worried because I was in the wrong. Does that make sense? I thought it would have looked better for me to not say anything and be the bigger person and just let them see who I really am and know that, of course, I didn't do that.
But how did that make you feel that you didn't?
Awful. My husband wasn't there at that service, so I went and I called him and I was yelling in front of the car. I was like, I can't believe this just happened. I'm so embarrassed, like, this is ridiculous. I did everything right, and yet there's people in the church talking about me right now, and it's a pretty small church, so it's pretty obvious. I can see it happening.
So I noticed. So you said embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
And can you describe? Will you describe that embarrassment for me as it relates to that particular situation?
Well, in that situation, I mean, like actually that week our pastor wasn't even there. So technically it was my husband and I and one of the couple in charge of church that week. So like for me to have that role for the first time, and then for her to that first time squash me, and yeah, so I had all this confidence because we were doing really well, and then she came in and immediately put me down, my very first try.
Okay, so it sounds like, for one, you knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
And she kind of put your competence into question.
She really did, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
She's not even there's a director of the kids program. She's not even the director. The director could have come out and asked me to do something, but she had to pretend like she was in charge and do all this stuff. So it's just crazy. She always steps on their toes because she is immature and she wants that leadership, but she's just doing it the wrong way.
So tell me a little bit about, other than the attitude and the eye rolls, tell me a little bit about some of the other things that you could potentially do to kind of help her see her immaturity.
Okay,
that's
a good point. So, one thing that she does that I noticed I can maybe help with is, so she's immature and she actually tries to avoid church services at all costs. So what I'm seeing from her is that she doesn't even have spirituality, which again, it's fine, but like to be a leader in the church, you would think that you would want to attend church, right? So she'll try to avoid it at all costs, and I don't know why, but I'm wondering if maybe I could confront that and be like, hey, like, why don't you come to service with me this week? Why don't you come to the service? Or maybe not be confrontational, but hey, ask, do you want to come sit with me this week? And then maybe she will come in. Because I'm wondering if maybe that's part of her immaturity.
So on one hand, I noticed you say she has a servant's heart, but on the other hand, you're saying that she doesn't have spirituality. Yep. Can you explain the distinction?
It's so interesting. Yeah, I think she likes helping people, but I think that she does help people to like no end, That's why we keep her around, or my pastor keeps her around. But yeah, I think she does it for attention and for gaining that status. So it's, yes, she does help people, but I see it. I think I'm the only person that sees it for what it really is. Mm-hmm. So she looks better than she really is because she does all this stuff, But it's for the wrong reason. So, and I see it as you shouldn't be a leader in the church. You can come to church, but I don't think it's healthy for a leader in the church.
Okay, so it appears that you pretty much have precedent set for how leadership should be in the church.
Yeah, and I'm fine with it. I don't have a problem with it, but when I see families leaving because of the way she treats them, I'm not saying she should never be in leadership, but I am saying someone should invest in her and teach her, or at least try to teach her, give her that opportunity to grow as a leader before putting her in those positions that could potentially turn people away.
All right, so if everything could get in alignment, and you can train her and she can do everything the way it needs to be done, what would that look like? What would ministry look like?
That would be amazing, because if she continues to be as servant-hearted, if she gets a real servant's heart, and she continues to help as much as she does, our church would be amazing. Like, she's always there doing the little things that people need. I mean, Anne tries to do the big things. But if everything was how it should be, she could really help the church, and it would be awesome,
So it appears that you could possibly serve as a mentor for this young lady.
Good, but I don't know if I have the patience for it.
Patience? Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say your level of patience is with everybody?
With everybody? With everybody?
If you were just working with a group of people.
About an 8 with everybody.
Okay. Now with her?
A 2. I've actually started avoiding her recently because I know my patience is pretty low with
Okay. Okay. And describe for me
Yeah.
the attributes that you would associate with being a servant with spirituality.
Mm. I would say she can continue doing what she's doing, because the helpfulness is there. But it's the fact that she makes a huge fuss about it, and she'll go tell everybody, or she pretends like she's doing more than she is, type of thing. So being noticed for it, which if she's doing all that she is, she's gonna be noticed for it no matter what. So she just doesn't need to go boasting about it. That's how I see it.
Definitely. So it definitely sounds like you are a bit annoyed by this individual,
Definitely.
but you also want to help her because you have a servant's heart
I
and
do.
you feel like you are spiritually mature. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and it sounds you're calling me spiritually mature, and I'm about to say something that's not spiritually mature, which is kind of ironic. But I should say that yes, I want to help her, but I think because she's in my small group, I've been so close with her that it's hard for me to want to get her to that place. But I know that I should, and I think I could get there. But I think right now, like I just see it, and I'm so annoyed by it that's what overcomes me right now.
Okay. So what is it that, being that you don't feel like you personally can get her to that place, what are some of the things you think you can do to potentially start taking steps to get her to that place?
I think like little things. I even stopped going to small group to avoid her. So maybe just starting to go back again, and even if I just say a couple words to her every night, at least I'm being around her. Or even if I don't invite her to like come in and sit next to me, if I see her leaving, I can be like, hey, what are you doing? Do you have time to come sit? I think the little things is what I could handle right now.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you are definitely thinking about it and you want to make strides to support, but you also sound like you want to protect yourself and your energy.
Definitely, yeah. She's been very draining, but I can see how she could be a huge asset to our team. That would be a great thing to have her. So while it is draining, I can see how it would be nice to help her grow and change.
That sounds great. Well, I think that we definitely will revisit this again next week.
Awesome.
All right.